Here on Pippins Pregame with Pippins manager Marcus McKimmy before the Pippins open up a 4-game series here this weekend against the Port Angeles Lefties. And, Coach, let's start with that. It's going to be a little bit of a different dynamic, 4 games in 3 days already with a little bit of a thin pitching staff. How do you go into this series with that in mind?
You hit. You just keep playing the games that you're scheduled. We're in a position where our rotation's set up kind of how we want it to be going forward. We feel like the schedule, as best as it can, is actually in our favor. If you look at it on paper, again, the game's not played on paper, but for us, I think we're deep offensively and position player-wise right now. So if we're talking about strength in numbers, that's where we got to really rely on our depth and the amount of weapons that we have just to do some different things throughout a game and not be afraid to use them, right? Not to be afraid to, go to a guy in a certain situation and play the matchup game on the mound. Those guys have battled all summer. They're going to be fine. You got Jamison tonight, McGreasy tomorrow, and then with 2 7-inning games on Sunday, we'll play that by ear, and we're just focused on the game ahead of us tonight.
Coach, you guys got a nice luxury with the return of Kyle Dean, West Coast League batting champ last year. What kind of went into getting him back with the Pippins, and how important is his return to this offense?
You'd have to ask him, but typically when you have returners, it's because they really enjoy their time here in the first place. They've either had success, they were treated like kings or rock stars from their host families, and spoiled and loved and whatever else those fantastic families do for our guys individually. Fans are great. I mean, I can go down the list of reasons why I would believe that they'd want to come back. In Kyle's case, you've mentioned he was the batting champ last summer and earned it. He's an incredible hitter and a guy that immediately takes pressure off all of our guys, not just in the middle of the order, but it allows us to move guys up or down based on role and skill set. And to have him come play with his brother is a pretty special thing that we're very, very excited about, that they both get to wear the Pippin uniform.
Coach, you touched on it a little bit, but Ryan Jamison gets the ball tonight, was as good as he's been all year in his last start. What kind of did you see out of him in that last outing against Portland that you'd like to see continue today?
Well, he didn't give in ever. He wasn't a super strike thrower with his fastball like he wants to be, like he needs to be, but he was able to pitch backwards and make pitches when he needed to and fight himself back in counts and was just super. He wasn't sharp. He wasn't as good as he can be, and he will be, but the best pitchers don't roll out of bed and stuff it every single day. And when they can get through 6 innings, and in his case 6+ in a West Coast League game that was as tight as that one, that's what the best do.
That was Pippins manager Marcus McKimmy here on the pregame show before the Pippins open up a 4-game series with a doubleheader on Sunday against the Lefties. Coach, I appreciate the time. Go get one today.
You got it. Thanks.